Now, that in itself is a very profound knowledge, because to understand how a reality is created, and to understand how it is we have all come to be here in the first place. Once we understand our very reasons for our existence here, it is critical piece of knowledge to have that wisdom and to remember that, because this knowing has been buried underneath layers and layers and layers of misinformation. And that's part of our journey to separation, to experience that as well. So we have this journey that has taken us from the higher reaches of the universe, and we've come down through all the dimensions, vast journey to separation. Now we're bringing it back into oneness and what we refer to as 0 point. And the 0 point issue is really important as well, because what that initially says is it really means finding centre again, absolute centre. That's what 0 point is referring to. So everything's being compressed, and each step of the way was becoming more dense and more compressed, and it felt like it was further into separation. And in a way it was, but in a way it wasn't, because it's a symbiotic relationship. The more density we're going into in bringing everything together, the closer we're getting to 0 point at the same time. And so this incredible long journey that we're on is about to come to an end, and that is at the close of this cycle, which we refer to as the precession of the equinoxes. So understanding who our sun is, and who this incredible being that we call Mother Earth is, to understand the sacrifice that being has made is just, the magnitude of that sacrifice is incredible. I've discussed it before again, and I always feel it so deep in my heart, the journey that this magnificent lady has undertaken, facilitating everything that's been going on here for such a long period of time. The other issue I want to raise with that is this propaganda campaign, a negative propaganda campaign that's been raging on this planet now intensely for the last 12,000 years. It really has been, and about 6,000 years ago it went to a whole new level, and the amount of misinformation and that's being disseminated, and the amount of truth that's being hidden from the people on this planet. At the moment, everywhere I look, there's a negative campaign against the sun, against the being that has been the sun, the many forms that being has been, the interpretations of that being. All of a sudden that being is evil, and there's even a reference in biblical scriptures to the name of that being called Apollo or Apollyon, and apparently that being is incredibly evil. So I would really think hard about that, and you make up your own mind on that, but I have a good understanding of who the sun is. And so at this stage of the game, the information that is really out there doing the rounds, I would really be careful in accepting a lot of it. I would dig hard into what's behind the dissemination of that information, and what is their angle, and why would they do that? Why would someone want to turn you against the sun? The being that gives light and life to everything in this reality, in this solar system. And the other one is Mother Earth. There's so much reference to the moon being the feminine, and there's not that much reference to the Mother Earth being the divine mother and the divine feminine. And that's another thing that I will look at very closely. And I don't see what the big deal, honestly, I don't see what the big deal is about. If those beings wanted to manifest an incarnation and walk this earth, I know they have done so in the past on many occasions. It happens in every solar system in the galaxy. It is quite normal for any planetary body to manifest whatever life form is incarnated on its own body and experience that life on that level itself. Why not? What is the big deal? So that's another question, another angle, another perspective to consider. It's normal in the rest of the universe. Why is it such a big issue here? Just another point to consider. I wish to share now with you a understanding of when a reality actually is created. Now, what happens is, on a high level, beings have a meeting, and the experience that is required, the beings come together who need to have that experience. And a being will volunteer, become a planetary body, and in doing so, an energetic pattern, a vibration, a frequency is injected into a particular location within the universe, and that then emanates outwards. And so when this planet was created, or this solar system was created, a particular vibration was resonating out, because everything expresses itself. So if you're an individual person, or you're a tree, or you're a mountain, or you're a planetary body, or you're a solar system, you have your own unique vibration. Now that call went out to the far reaches of the universe. So to understand that we have come here from all corners, all the corners of the universe, some vast distances, to incarnate here on earth, to have this experience. And people say that this isn't really real, it's just an illusion, it's just a dream. That is a very dangerous campaign that is designed to completely undermine the validity of this experience, of this reality, and of the sacrifices that all the beings involved in this process have endured. It is a massive undertaking to create a single planetary body that is going to contain within it, within that reality, and within the life, the paramount life form that is to occupy that reality, all the codes of the universe. All the codes of the universe. So on one level, this is the most prized possession. Our genetics and the genetic codes here are the most prized possession in the universe. And there are a group of beings who are insanely jealous, and I mean insanely jealous, of who we all are and what we are all doing here. And their only interest is to totally undermine the credibility of this reality, to totally undermine your own sense of self-worth and reason and purpose and intent for existing here, and to devalue and debunk this whole situation here, this whole experience and this whole reality. The understanding of who manifested herself as this planet, and the understanding of the sacrifice that that being has made for all of us is, I feel, and I'm sure many beings out there in the greater universe feel, is a real key ingredient to understanding and resonating with who we all are, and understand that this knowing has been buried underneath layers upon layers upon layers over thousands of years of twisted truths and manipulations. And that when you're reading ancient texts, it's not necessarily the truth, because thousands of years before them, they're running off a story which thousands of years before them was manipulated, which thousands of years before them was manipulated. So to understand the real truth, you will only ever find the real truth deep in here, deep within yourself. And it's like I say, I have the luxury and the privilege of my experiences, and that's the responsibility and obligation that I have to humanity.